Hey, BassGeek here, and I'm going to show you what I spent my money on at the Knoxville Expo. Alright guys, so the very first thing I want to do is I want to shout out and apologize to two gentlemen. I use my iPhone a lot of times to film a lot of the B-roll and stuff. You know, I don't have big high-end cameras. You know, like I always say, I'm an angler first, I'm a fisherman first, so I don't like to carry around a lot of stuff. I use, you know, my iPhone to shoot a lot of this stuff, and I use my, I've now got a couple of GoPros just, and the only reason I even upgraded from like some SJ cams to the GoPros was simply because of the audio. I'm trying to get my audio in better line when I'm out on the water and out on the boat, so that I can talk to you guys and tell you what's going on right then, right there, which is a little more personable than, you know, doing the voiceover thing. But anyway, all that being said, iPhones, they don't work well with PCs a lot of times, and sometimes you think you've copied everything over and you haven't. And so I left these two fellas out, and I want to say sorry to you guys. You know, I pinned a comment in the last video that I said, you know, about the expo, said sorry, but I want to get them in right now. So guys, here they are. I left them out of the expo video, not purposefully. You know, sorry guys, I appreciate all the support you guys give me, and I want to say, you know, I am really, really sorry for not getting you guys in the video. And here they are. Hey guys, I'm here with one of my subscribers,
Danny Willis. Watch BassGeek. I've learned a lot from him.
You got anybody you want to shout out, say hey to?
Hey to my wife, Crystal. She's here stomaching through it.
Right. Listen, I want to give a shout out to all the wives out there that allow us fishermen to come to places like this, because they know they're into spending some money. Thank you, man.
No problem, buddy.
Your support. Hey guys, I'm here with one of my subscribers.
Anyways, so let's sit here now. Anyways, my name is Kevin Henderson, and I tell you what, this is an awesome show. I'll tell you what now then, this guy right here, he is the absolute #1 best in the world on actually, you know, all of his actual my shows. Very educational. And I tell you what, man, and so anyways, they have the absolute best stuff here. Y'all come on down here and y'all get y'all some of it.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for your support, dude. I really do appreciate it. Hey guys, I want to talk to you about one more thing that's really serious. Now, I know the fishing community, we tend to help each other out. Now, here's a guy by the name of Randy Chopper Ingram. He's been a really good friend of mine. Met him at Watson's Marine over in Bluff City, and he is in need of a kidney transplant. If you are interested, contact me, send me an email, bassgeek.biteme@gmail.com, and I will get you more information if you'd like to go and be tested to see if you are a compatible donor with him. Guys, he's genuinely a good guy, has been great to me, has been a huge help over the years, both in fishing and, you know, helping me out with parts and decisions that I've needed to make about my boat. You know, Chopper, I'm a big fan of Chopper. I always have been a big fan of Chopper. If you go back and look at one of my very first videos where I did the open house video at Watson's, you'll see and hear me talk about my admiration for Chopper, even in that video. So, like I said, bassgeek.biteme@gmail. If you're interested in seeing or knowing someone who might be, send me an email and I'll get you all of the information you need. Guys, like I said, I'd appreciate it if you guys pass this along and reach out to other people, because Chopper's a great guy. Thank you. And I hate to make this an apology video, but as most of you know that watched the last expo video, I came down with a really bad case Saturday morning of food poison. And I mean, guys, it was bad. Some of the people that come up and see me, they were like, well, I would have never known it. But if you go back and watch that video, there's a lot of it where I look very pale white with dark circles under my eyes, which, I mean, I look about that way during the wintertime anyway. But that, it really stands out when you know it. So, you know, I want to say a big shout out to LedgeHog. I didn't get to do an interview, but I did buy a bunch of their stuff, and I'm getting ready to show you that. I also want to say a big shout out to Cumberland Pro Lures. They had some heads set aside for me, and I'll just be honest with you, I just couldn't even muster the ability to walk over there. I just didn't want to leave the booth, guys. I was super Saturday and Sunday. You know, I even about got sick on a couple of subscribers, and I felt awful about that and made sure I tracked them down and apologized for that. So that would have been an interesting video. Again, if that was you, I don't remember you guys. I don't exactly remember your name, but if it was you, I super apologize for that too. I had to take out running out of the building. So I had to get some fresh air and had to you know, think some things over while I was out there. So let's dig right in. I want to show you some of the stuff that I picked up. Some of the stuff, you know, it's just add-on replacement, but most of this stuff is new stuff that I can't wait to try in the upcoming year. Now, the very first thing I want to talk to you about is line. Now, you guys know with moving baits, I'm a big line diameter guy. If you don't, you're about to know. You know, when I'm fishing moving baits, I want a line that is as thin as I can get, but I don't sacrifice, you know, tensile strength. Because if you're throwing a crankbait, a swim bait, a swim jig, an Alabama rig, anything that you are reeling back to you, that line creates drag and therefore creates lift. So the bigger diameter that line is, the more lift it's going to get you. And so the less depth you're going to get out of that bait. So, all that being said, if you were fishing, you know, around grass, over top shallow grass, it's not a big deal. But where I'm from, it's a lot of rock. And so we want to get the lures down to the edge of clarity or deeper. And sometimes that can be, you know, 5 feet, it can be 3 feet, or it can be 23 or 25 or 45 feet. So line diameter to me is very important when I'm fishing a moving bait. Like I said, even those swim baits you see me throw, it's very important to get the highest tensile strength with the smallest diameter line so I can keep that thing at a constant level when reeling at a certain speed. So right beside the Ledgehead booth, there's a company called K9 Fishing, and they do line. And so I seen them over there. I was running a little low on 10-pound test, which is something that I love to throw crankbaits on. I love to throw on some of the heavier spinning rods. You know, just a 10-pound test is a good all-around line for me. You know, I've been known to throw 10XDs on 10-pound test line to get it down deeper. You know, you got to be real careful doing that, but there's a lot of times, guys, when I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna throw those 10XDs on that 10-pound test line. Now, this line I actually picked up, and I was looking for. I'm a big fluorocarbon guy. Again, you know, I fish a lot of clear water. I don't fish around a lot of grass, so braid for me is, you know, it's kind of a no-go. I use it for backing. Now, if I'm fishing grass, that's a little different. I'm going to use braid, or I'm going to use a short leader. But since I fish ultra clear water, a lot of times about the minimum, even on my spinning rods, about the minimum amount of line that I'm going to have is going to be about 15 feet in 100% clear fluorocarbon. That's a big deal to me. Now, this line, what caught my eye early on, number one is the price. Number two, you guys know that I use a lot of Seagar, and the reason I use Seagar is because it goes on sale, it seems like every year at the end of the year, so I buy the big spools. Well, this 10-pound test line in the K9 Pro 100, this is 100% clear fluorocarbon. This has a smaller diameter than the Red Label. Now, it's not quite as small as the InvizX, but it's really close. It's basically, I think it's a 1/100th off is what it is from the InvizX. So that's a good middle ground. Now, I haven't spooled anything up. I don't know how limp or how coarse this is, but I'm dying to put it on some rosin. I'm actually going to do that today, and we're going to find out what it's like. Now, something else they turned me on. Again, now I'm a hard sell, man. I am a 100% fluorocarbon guy, but they started talking about this canine fluoro. Now, this is, for lack of a better term, I'm going to call this, a hybrid line, or from what I understand, it's a mono fluoro mix. So it's a monocore fluoro cover. I might be wrong on that. I haven't done enough research to actually tell you that. But what again amazes me is that this line, so I was told that it has very low memory, but it's still very clear in the water. And the other thing about this line is that it has a very small diameter again. Now, if I'm throwing a bait out there, for the most part, sometimes it does matter depending on how deep you're fishing a bait. But if I'm throwing a bait out there and it's a jig and I'm just, hopping it, working it, the line diameter means much, much less to me. Now, you can control rate of fall on a jig or a shaky head or a Ned with lighter line. So you can slow it down with bigger line. You can speed it up with smaller line. I generally look for that happy medium based on the cover when it comes to throwing those type of baits. Finesse, of course, I'm going to go with a little lighter line in clear water. And with, with a jig, generally I'm going to throw 12 to 15 pound test, even in the clearest of water, because I'm looking, to catch bigger fish and set the hook and drag them in. But this is something, I've not really used a lot of the combination lines, and this is something that I'm excited to try out on my spinning reels. So I'm just going to show you something that randomly I picked up. I picked this up out of one of the tackle shops that come by and set up. I've just been wanting to throw one of these forever and just haven't, picked them up. But this is the Live Target bait ball. Got it in a good bait fish color. I mean, during the spring, that may wear them out. It's kind of like a small Alabama rig. And, I'm kind of interested in seeing how that works. I've seen them now for well over a year or around a year, and keep meaning to pick some up. And, at these shows, you get a good deal on them, and, you can pick them up. So I want to see kind of where that goes. So next on the table, Hog Farmer, which is a company that, I've been a fan of. They make some really unique baits for quite a while. You guys know I love to throw the Alabama rigs. So I was looking for something that had a little more flash to it. So this is the Hog Farmer Harvester rig. And what I like about it is it's got several wires, and I don't even know how many blades it's got on it. But I'm pretty stoked about that. Now, a lot of times during the spring, I'm fishing for smallmouth, so of course I want something that's a little more finessey. So I also picked up their 5-wire 4-blade, which is, just their version of an Alabama rig. So I went ahead and picked that up also, for a little finessier presentation for those smallmouth, and to be able to get it a little deeper in the water column. Something that I really do like by them, and I've seen several videos where they've got it in their hog trough, I guess, is what they call it. This is a 1/8, and these are some small stand-up heads. I really do like that head, and I've seen them actually couple them with this bait. I picked up a couple different types. This is the 4.5 inch. This is the spunk shad. So this is something that's got basically a straight tail. So it doesn't have a boot tail. And I picked that up in a couple of different colors. That color right there I'm really excited about. That's the blue gizzard shad. That's the green pumpkin. but it's a very unique bait how it stands on its head, and you know, with those heads we can tie on a lot of different stuff. So in that same sort of setup, you know, the Jerky J hit last year really big, and I like the Jerky J, but you know, just something about it, you know, not quite right for me. So what I've been looking at was some of the Scottsboro tackle baits, which just so happens right behind the Ledgehead booth there was a company that I'd never heard of, but they make sort of the same body style baits as the Scottsboro swim baits. And what they had, and what I can't seem to find on Scottsboro a whole lot, is they had the 6.25. This is called Producer Swim Baits, and they call this the Pintail Shad. Now this is very much in the same deal as the Jerky J. You know, you're going to throw it on some sort of vibrating head, whether it be a scrounger or some sort of chatterbait head. You don't have that boot tail. It's not a swim bait. And the big difference between the swim bait and this is that the boot tail, when you've got that chatterbait style or that you know, scrounger style, the big thing about that is the boot's not really giving you that action. It's, you know, kind of all over, kind of kills the boot tail action, which this does not. Now again, you know, I'm not fishing for Kentucky Lake Giants or even chick giants, you know, which I hope. There might be some things in the works, guys, that I can't wait to share with you because you guys have made this happen. But anyway, so I picked up several colors. This is their trout. What I like about these, they're really translucent too. And again, in the clear water during the summer, I think that's going to be a big deal. This is the Sexy Green Smoke, and this is the Sexy Blueback Herring. So I really like that size. I picked up a few more of the 7s than I thought I did, but these are the 7s, and the 7-inch from the 6.25. They're big. These are the jumbo pintails. These are the Tennessee Shad. I want to pick some of those up absolutely in the 6.25s. This is the Sexy Tennessee Shad. That's another color I'd like to pick up in the 6.25s. The Green Smoke, which I already have one of those. That is a great looking color right there. And the Sexy Blueback Herring. And like I said, the great thing about all of those colors is that they are all very translucent, which for me, fishing in clear water, I really like that. All right, so one of the companies you guys know I'm a big fan of course, is LedgeHog, not Ledgehead. They're two different companies. LedgeHog. Now they're famous for, and if you go back and look at some of my other expos, for making really, I mean, I'm talking about magnum blade baits. So I've got several of their magnum blade baits, but what I didn't have, they came out last year with the some smaller versions. When I say smaller version, I'm not talking about little, but what I do like about these are the 3, let me make sure I'm not lying to you, these are the 3-inch. And guys, even with the 3-inch, I'm going to tell you right now, these things are massive. As you can see, that is the 3-inch version, and look at the paint job on that. That is powder coated, guys, so that's not a sticker, and that is amazing. I cannot wait to get out there. Hope I'm going to be able to finally get back out on the lake here within the next day or two. And when I find some schools that are setting out on some points, I can promise you this right now, I will be throwing these blade baits. So I picked up 2. These 2 are the Natural Shad, I believe is the color that they're talking about. And this is kind of a, it looks silver, guys, but it's got kind of this lavender purple, and apparently the more you put it in the water, the more that color really comes out, and smallmouth will just crush that color. I've actually heard that particular color is doing real well on a couple of my local lakes that I love to fish during the wintertime. So LedgeHog, always a very innovative company. Make sure you go check them out. Of course, guys, there will be links to, you know, their social media, to all these companies, websites and social media, what they have in the description below. Now, guys, you guys seen this a couple, or last year. These are the scissor jigs. Guys, go back, look at this. I'll insert a little bit of video about this. So I picked me up a couple more when I was trying to get to them last year. Every time I'd get there, they'd be sold out of the colors that I wanted. So these are both the 3/4. And this is watermelon red and green pumpkin. So I'm happy I've kind of rounded out my color selection with those now. And I can't wait to try those out. Now, they've come out with something new. Or, I guess a spin, no pun intended, on an old favorite that's kind of gone away, except for a lot of the old scores. Now, way back in the day, before we were throwing swim baits out on ledges, we were throwing spinner baits with huge blades. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say these are the baddest, you know what, that I have seen on the market. These spinner baits are massive. So I picked up two, both of them in shad pattern. I'm actually going to order a couple in the, and you know, I really thought I picked up one in a brown, but maybe I didn't. But I'm going to pick up one in a gill color too, maybe. But this is, you know, shad. It can, both of them could easily pass as you know, crappie. So, you know, these are huge. This is a 1.5 ounce LedgeHog spinner bait. This is the TN Baitfish color. And guys, I don't know the size of that blade, but it is ginormous. And I am just beyond excited to be able to go out and fish these things this year. Now, I picked up one that was a little bit smaller. This weight, I believe, is the ounce, and you can see same color, slightly smaller blade. So I'll tell you, I can't wait to get out and throw these on some of the clear water lakes. I can't wait to get out and throw them down on Top Secret Lake D, where these guys are originally kind of out of during the summer. Right down from me was a company that, you know, they subscribe to the channel, they watch, they follow us on our Facebook and our Instagram, and they do some really good hand painting jobs on some crankbaits. And so what I did is I really went and I was targeting more this spring. So of course the colors I'm going to get are red and browns and yellows and a lot of crawl patterns here, but I picked up several baits. I'm going to say what I think is the best for last. I'm truly jacked up to throw this come the spring. But, you know, I picked up some DT10s, some good red crawl patterns, you know, just really good paint jobs by these guys. You know, picked up some good old bandits. You know, you can't go wrong there. Look at the yellows and the browns on that color. You know, got to pick up the, you know, some of the shad wraps. You know, picked up a couple of those in a couple different colors. Again, here's another awesome color. I mean, that is just an awesome color. I cannot wait to throw that. And here's another little bandit. Some of the other things, some of the rock crawlers that they have. Picked up, you know, a couple of 4 to 8, the 9 to 14 foot. And I'm going to pick up some more of these that they've hand painted. I love this color right here. I just think around some smallmouth that's going to be a crusher this year. I cannot wait to pick that up in this color. This color right here, I just think is just in the clear water, this color is going to be enormous. And I know you can't see it, but there's just this purple in it, and blue and brown, and It's incredible, guys. So I'm super excited about that, and I know I say I'm super excited, guys. I like I say, and again, as always, a big shout out to Tackle Junkie 81. If y'all don't know who he is, make sure you go look him up. He's a mentor of mine. He is he's a bigger channel, 40 to 60. I don't even know where he's at, but he's way up there. And he is the Tackle Junkie, so make sure you go check him out. But this color right here in this red eye shad, holy cow, guys. I'm going to tell you, come springtime, I hope this works as good as I think it is. I hope I've got enough sense to throw it in the right situation. That's what I hope, because that color right there is just killer, and it ought to just wreak havoc come this spring. All right, so we're going to finish up. We're going to finish up with my bud Ledgehead Lures, again, not LedgeHog, two different companies. And he's come out with some things. One thing I wanted to pick up, just because I wanted to get a little slower drop, and I don't have any of them, and that is the 1/4 ounce drop heads. Now, these are for the Mickeys. A lot of guys are throwing smaller swim baits on them, dragging them around, you know, the 2.8s, and they say they're killer for those 2.8s and even the 3.3s. Now, he has come out with something, and I'm going to try, because I actually handle his website for him, I'm going to try to get these up on the website this weekend. So look for them by Monday morning, a week from today. I'm hoping I'm going to have them up, say Friday or Saturday night at the latest. But these are the Dragon Head. And guys, I know a lot of you guys up north love to take a football head jig and rig them with a Kitech style swim bait. Well, this is a head that Tim, the owner of Ledgehead, and a guy from up north actually sat down and designed. Now, I don't remember the guy. I'm sorry, Tim. I'm sorry, brother. I don't remember. He's pro staff. He's a very good angler who probably will be fishing as a pro within the next year or two. And they sat down and designed these heads, and I'm really excited to even fish them down here. So they're specifically designed for that technique up north where you get that good wobble, and to stand up to really look like that sort of that goby style coming across the bottom. But these are something, I picked them up. He had them in the green, and he had them in the straight kind of chrome color. And so I picked a couple of those up. I think those will do real well, even on the lakes around here. You know, some of those long points and that sort of stuff. Not only with the swim baits, but maybe even with some crawl style baits on the back of them. Now, something you guys might not know that Ledgehead actually carries, and you need to get out to their website, because they have got some really, really good top water handmade, hand-painted balsa wood baits out there. Now, this is a popper that I picked up from them. I'm not going to tell you guys, these are not cheap, but they are hand-carved, hand-painted. These are top-notch balsa baits. So if you're looking for a cheap popper, this is not for you. But if you're looking for an old-school popper, the bigger popper that you can take and skip and you can walk, these poppers walk, I mean, it'll blow your mind how well this walks. What I love is that orange. You can get them in red. This was the last one that had that orange little dot and a little mouth on it. You know, for me, I'm going to really use this a lot around the time that the bluegill get up on the beds. And so just toss that up around those beds and start chugging it and walking it out of those beds, and wait for, you know, a big largie or a big smallie just to come up and crush it. But guys, go check them out. They've got some old school plopper style baits you've seen, and you know, these are all baits and stuff that were well out. You know, I always tell everybody, go to these expos, look at the small booths that maybe only sell one or two products. Those are going to be your innovators. Those are going to be the guys that are coming out with stuff that you've never seen before. And this is a prime example. This and LedgeHog, you know, and even Hog Farmer and right down to K9, you know, these are the guys that are the innovators that have been doing things well before the big boys catch on to them. As always, guys, hope you go check some of this stuff out. I'll keep you posted. We're doing a Sunday video, so a lot of this stuff we can do reviews on as the year goes on. Like I always say, make sure you check out those Sunday videos. They're going to be a little different than the Wednesday videos. The Wednesday videos are going to be, you know, that mid-level, that, you know, that sort of stuff that we've always done here on the channel. The Sunday videos are going to be a little more maybe geared toward the beginner, even though we're going to do some tips. Once a month we'll do a 6-minute Sunday where we pick your questions and go headlong into how I like to use that bait, do that bait, what is my sort of process with it. And, you know, may even be able to give away a shirt for the question that gets picked. We'll have to see. I'd like to do that once a month, give a shirt, a BassGeek shirt away, and for whoever gets the question, or whoever gets picked as the question that we use. All right, guys, as always, questions and comments in the comments section below. You guys know I love to talk about fishing with you. I answer every single comment, every single DM, PM, whatever M you want to put in there. I answer them all, or at least I try my best to. All the emails. Make sure you check the description in the bottom for a lot of the products and discount codes. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell so you know when these videos come out. I love the support and love you guys give me, and that's only going to help. You guys rock.